In a world increasingly divided by borders and conflicts, global organizations stand as beacons of hope, promising unity and peace. Yet the reality often tells a different story. How do these institutions, built on ideals of cooperation, fail to prevent or even exacerbate global discord? The United Nations, established to end wars and promote human rights, often finds itself embroiled in geopolitical disputes. Despite its lofty goals, the UN's inability to enforce resolutions and its dependence on member states' cooperation often undermine its effectiveness. The paradox lies in its design, meant to unify but constrained by the very divisions it aims to heal. Reflect on the role of global institutions in your own life. How do they influence the way you perceive international events? Are these organizations truly capable of fostering unity, or are they merely symbolic? Religious and political leaders are often seen as paragons of virtue and service, yet many live lives of extraordinary wealth and privilege. How does the pursuit of personal gain fit into the narratives of selflessness and public duty? In both religion and politics, leaders are expected to embody the values they preach. However, the accumulation of wealth and power often reveals a stark contrast to the ideals of service and humility. This contradiction raises critical questions about the nature of authority and the ethics of leadership. Consider how this paradox impacts your view of leadership. How do you reconcile the ideals professed by these leaders with their actions? What does this say about the nature of authority and accountability? Medicine is a field dedicated to healing, yet it often becomes entangled in the pursuit of profit. From unnecessary treatments to inflated insurance claims, how does the quest for financial gain compromise the fundamental goal of patient care? The healthcare system, while designed to improve and save lives, frequently encounters ethical dilemmas where financial incentives overshadow the patient's well-being. This contradiction highlights the tension between medical ethics and economic pressures. Reflect on your own experiences with the healthcare system. How do you perceive the balance between care and profit? What changes would you advocate for to ensure that medical ethics are upheld? Technology has transformed our world, offering unprecedented opportunities for progress, yet it also introduces new forms of control and manipulation. How does our reliance on technology shape our lives, and where does the line between innovation and intrusion lie? While technology drives forward human potential, it also poses significant ethical challenges. AI algorithms can manipulate consumer behavior, and social media can influence public opinion. The paradox lies in technology's dual role as both an enabler of progress and a tool for control. Consider your own relationship with technology. How do you navigate its benefits and risks? What role should regulation play in balancing innovation with ethical considerations? Chapter 5: Social Media, the Illusion of Connection. Social media platforms promise to bring us closer, yet they often foster a sense of superficiality and division. How does the quest for online connectivity impact our real-world relationships and perceptions? Social media is a powerful tool for connecting people, but it frequently creates a veneer of interaction that lacks depth. The paradox lies in the discrepancy between the promise of connection and the reality of increased loneliness and polarization. Reflect on your social media usage. Does it enhance or hinder your real-world relationships? How can we use these platforms more meaningfully? Chapter 6: AI, the Promise of Objectivity or the Reality of Manipulation. AI is heralded as a solution to human bias, yet it often perpetuates existing inequalities. How does AI's promise of objectivity measure up against its real-world impact? AI systems are designed to be impartial, but they can reflect and even amplify human biases present in their training data. This paradox highlights the challenges of ensuring fairness and transparency in automated decision-making. Consider the role of AI in your life. How do you perceive its impact on fairness and objectivity? What steps should be taken to address its potential for bias? Chapter 7. Racial Equality or Inequality. The false promises of diversity initiatives. Diversity initiatives are designed to foster equality, yet they sometimes fall short, reinforcing stereotypes and perpetuating existing inequalities. What are the real outcomes of these efforts, and how can they be improved? While diversity initiatives aim to address racial disparities, they can sometimes inadvertently reinforce biases or offer superficial solutions. The paradox lies in the gap between the goals of these programs and their actual impact. Reflect on the diversity initiatives you encounter. How effective are they in addressing racial inequality? What changes could enhance their impact? Chapter 8. Education, Enlightenment or Indoctrination. Education is often seen as a path to enlightenment, yet it can also serve as a tool for indoctrination. How does the educational system balance the promotion of critical thinking with the perpetuation of societal norms and biases? Educational institutions are meant to encourage independent thought and inquiry. However, they can also reinforce existing biases and societal values. The paradox lies in the tension between education as a means of personal growth and as a tool for social conformity. Consider your own educational experiences. How has education shaped your views? How can we ensure that it promotes genuine critical thinking rather than indoctrination? Chapter 9. The Ethical Dilemma of Global Aid, Help or Exploitation. Global aid is intended to alleviate suffering and promote development. Yet it can sometimes lead to dependency and exploitation. How does the quest to help intersect with the realities of power dynamics and corruption? While global aid aims to support developing nations, it can sometimes result in unintended consequences, such as dependency on aid and exploitation by donor countries. This paradox highlights the complexities of humanitarian efforts and their true impact. Reflect on the role of global aid in your perception of international relations. How can aid be structured to genuinely support development rather than perpetuating dependency? Chapter 10. Systemic Contradictions, Uniting the Disparate Threads. As we've explored, the contradictions within global institutions are not isolated. They form a complex web of systemic issues. From the failure of global organizations to the ethical dilemmas in medicine and technology, these contradictions reflect deeper societal challenges. The systemic nature of these contradictions reveals the inherent tensions within global institutions. Understanding these issues in their interconnected context provides insight into the broader challenges facing our world. Addressing these paradoxes requires a holistic approach that considers the interplay between various societal factors. Reflect on the interconnected nature of these contradictions. How can we address these systemic issues to create a more equitable and just society? What role can individuals and institutions play in driving meaningful change?